Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Kitchen. Hope you're having a great week. Weekend's turning out beautiful, fantastic weather. I gotta tell you, the video we did last week where we stuffed the pork loin, hopefully you watched it. Really good video, fantastic meal. Ever since I stuffed that pork loin, it's just had me thinking and rewriting all the recipes I was working on. I feel like stuffing something else. It's good. I enjoy doing it. I love the contrast and the complement of flavors. So what I want to do today, let's stuff something else. Let's stuff some peppers, huh? We'll stuff some peppers, bake them in the oven, and we'll put a neat spin on it so we can continue with nice and light food, nice light meals, since it's so hot outside. Traditionally, when you stuff peppers, it involves all kinds of ingredients from rice and breadcrumbs and sauces and veggies and meats and cheeses, and it can get really heavy and just filling. I didn't want that. I don't want that. I want something nice and light, but I want a stuffed pepper. Okay? So, came up with something a little different. We are going to take some peppers and we are going to stuff them with ground turkey breast that is mixed with some, what does that look like? This is basically your basic ingredients for coleslaw. You've got raddichio and carrots, cabbage, all diced up together. We're going to toss that with the ground turkey breast and mix in some seasonings, stuff that in the peppers, and then bake them in the oven. And that's it. Super easy, very light, fantastic flavor. I love this. This one's actually fairly new. It's a fairly new recipe that I came up with not so long ago. My wife and I tried it. We both loved it. We want to make it again. I want to make it again. I want you all to see it. It's great stuff. This is how you start. Pick your colors, pick your peppers. I did throw a green one in here. I am going to stuff a green one, and I want to warn you, green peppers, they have a very distinct smell, a very distinct flavor. It's very different from an orange pepper or a yellow pepper or even a red pepper, but I like this, especially when they're cooked. That's a great flavor that comes out, and it's very unique, and it's fun, it's enjoyable. Cut off the top and took out the middle. That's it. Pop the seeds in the middle right out, rinsed it all out, and you see how they're standing up? See, they're standing up flat and even. I lightly skimmed the bottom off. Got rid of the little bumps on the bottom so they stand up straight. If you were having this at a restaurant and you ordered stuffed peppers, when the peppers were presented to you at the table, they would be standing up just like that. The only way to do that is to skim off the bottom. So there's a little trick for you. We're going for that restaurant aesthetic, right? That restaurant aesthetic. Now, if you run into a dilemma that a lot of people run into, I run into myself quite often, when you cut that bottom, you end up with holes in the bottom of your pepper from time to time. I got very lucky. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. But it does happen. Another trick that I have shown in the past, if you get that hole in the bottom and you don't want everything to fall out of it, when it's time to bake these, we're going to put a couple of drops of olive oil in there and a pinch of breadcrumbs. And that'll form a little crust at the bottom while it's cooking, and then nothing will fall out, so you're good and safe. But before we get too off on that tangent, that's just in case you get a hole in the bottom of your pepper. And if you don't, then don't worry about it. But I took the peppers, we cored out the middle, sliced off the bottom so they sit up nice and straight, and they're primed and ready to be stuffed. There's really nothing left to do with those. The only other thing we're going to do is brown our turkey meat. So let's get that done and set, put everything in the peppers, and then throw them in the oven and have a fantastic meal. I love this. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. First of all, went ahead and turned on the oven. We're preheating our oven to 400 degrees. Just let that get started. It takes a few minutes anyway, so we'll just let that go. We'll get our stove nice and hot. Now, once again, as I've said in another video, I'm going to use a wok for the sheer reason of I love this wok. And I have a great time cooking with it. And like I've said, any excuse I can get to cook with it, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go ahead and put about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Let that get hot. As it's heating up, first ingredient we need, 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. And we're going to let that get just a little hot before we add our meat in there. I don't want to cook with a cold pan, obviously, and I don't want to drop the meat in there while it's cold and let it all start to heat up. I'd rather it be nice and hot and let the garlic have a moment or two to cook in the oil and just start to expand that flavor out. I can already smell the garlic hitting me, which is another one of my many favorite smells. In case I had not told you that, and we're waiting to hear a sizzle. Do you hear a sizzle? I hear a sizzle. I love that. Oh, do you hear that? Look at that. Yes. It's getting good and hot. Medium heat. Doesn't need to be too hot. It doesn't need to happen too fast. 1 pound of ground turkey breast. Right in that heat. Start breaking that up. And we're going to let this begin its magic. Now there's only, believe it or not, a few things we're going to add. Just a few things. Not a lot at all. Yes. So, what's first? First things first. Salt and pepper. I think I've probably added salt and pepper into everything I've cooked since we started doing this. And, well, frankly, it's really all you need. Salt, pepper, and oil. That's all you need. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Just going to sprinkle that everywhere. And just let that start to go. Let it start to brown. And you can see that? This doesn't take long to start browning. Just moving it around a little bit. Man, that is such a fantastic smell. I love it. I love the smell of garlic cooking. So we've got our garlic in there. We've got our kosher salt, our ground black pepper. One more item, an herb. Ooh, a nice sweet smell. Tarragon. Yes. 1 heaping teaspoon of tarragon is what's going in there. And as this is starting to brown, just going to move it around a little bit. Don't need to move it around a lot. Now, if any of you have been watching these videos and have seen me cook with this wok and have been interested in getting one, if you don't already have one little tip, these are great pieces of kitchen equipment. And frankly, they deserve to be well cared for. So when you have something like this, especially the newer age ones that have these non-stick coatings on them and such, you want to take good care of it, and you don't want to use anything that's going to scratch it or hurt it or be too abrasive. That's why these wooden spoons are great, because they're really soft. It's not going to hurt the pan. I'm not going to use anything metallic in here. It's going to get a little bit too warm for a spatula, a plastic spatula, so I'll stick with these wood spoons. And see, as this is cooking, all these smells are taking over. And I think turkey breast, chicken breast, they get a bad rap because there's obviously not a lot of fat content in there, so it's easy to say, oh, it's going to be dry. No, it's not. It's not going to be dry. Not if you properly cook it and you pay attention to what you're doing. We're going to stay right here. I don't see a lot of drippings. I don't see a lot of liquid. And frankly, that's because there's not a lot of fat. But if I don't let it overcook, it's not going to dry out. You've seen everything I've added so far. It has not been much. We don't need much. These flavors naturally come together and make some fantastic food. You see, starting to get nice and brown. We still got some spots, and that's okay. We're letting it happen naturally. We're not rushing this at all. Heck, our oven isn't even heated up all the way yet, so we have plenty of time. As this is starting to brown more and more, let's throw another component in there. Let's mess around with this flavor, since unfortunately you can't smell what I'm smelling. It's such a great smell. Garlic and tarragon. Whew. Love it. Love it, love it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's add something else. Let's go ahead and add 1/4 cup of white wine. 1/4 cup dry white wine. That's it. Now I'll let this cook in. Oh, fantastic. Now obviously the sizzle has gone away. That's because I introduced the cold wine, so it's going to slow down for a moment, and that's all right. It'll help us to not dry out. I'm going to let that go. Now, you know, normally when you're sauteing meat, ground turkey, ground beef, ground chicken, when you start to get a lot of liquid and you start to get a lot of drippings, a lot of times, a lot of recipes will call for you to drain off the excess liquid. We don't need to do that. 2 reasons. As I said before, this is ground turkey breast. There's next to no fat. We're talking about 98, 99% ground meat here with little to no fat at all, so there really are no drippings to drain off. And the liquid we have so far is just that white wine that I poured in. I want to keep all that liquid, and we're going to put it in the pepper when we stuff it so this doesn't dry in the baking process. So we're coming close to this being about done. This meat is browned, it's cooked. So let's add our next component. We're taking that cabbage and carrots, our coleslaw mix. Go to the store and buy yourself, if you want, pre-packaged coleslaw mix. You don't need, obviously, the dressing. You just want the veggies. I'm going to go ahead and pour 1 cup of those veggies in here with this meat. Wow. How pretty is that? Purple, orange, green. Oh, if it was purple and gold, LSU. Little Louisiana there for you. There, now we've got our veggies in. I'm going to mix those in with that white wine. One more thing, and we're done. I have soy sauce. Isn't that just the cutest little thing? Soy sauce. 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce. That is not very much. Just a little tiny bit of soy sauce to give it some final flavor. I'm going to stir it just a little bit and mix it all together. And that's it. We are done with this. It is time to stuff it in the peppers and put it in the oven. Yeah. So, our meat is done, all put together, smelling fantastic and looking beautiful. Let's go ahead now and get it in the peppers and finish this off. I'm going to go ahead, trade it out for more of a spoon. Now with 3 peppers, with this 1 pound of meat and the cup of veggies, you get about 2.5 scoops per pepper. And yep, we're going to make some heaping scoops, really big on purpose. Because while it's in the oven, it cooks down a little bit. So let's get it in there. Let's be, sharing is caring. Let's be extra hearty with this. You want people to see this and go, the color alone will make that happen. It's another reason why I think I like peppers. I just love the colors. I love bright colors. Have I said that before? Yep, I think I have. I have said that before. I really like bright colors. Now, what you do when you have a little bit extra is you save it, and that is what you sample and taste test while this is cooking. And since you're the one who did the cooking, you deserve the extra. So keep that and enjoy. Hot piece of aluminum foil. Going to cover them, but not hard. Just fold it over. Into the 400-degree oven for the next 20 minutes. We'll set the timer. For the next 20 minutes. We're going to take them out in 20 minutes. One final step, we're going to put a little bit of this here concoction on top. I've got 3 tablespoons of plain bread crumbs and 1.5 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese that I went ahead and mixed together. And we're just going to sprinkle this on top of each one, put them back in the oven for about 10 more minutes, and then take them out and be done. Super easy. Now I will tell you another little trick you can use. Use these in restaurants a lot. If you want to shave a few minutes off this, now to be honest, you're only going to shave about 5. But if you want to shave off a few minutes, you could take those peppers after you've taken out the middle, you cut off the tops, they stand up beautifully. What you could do is throw them in the microwave, 90 seconds or so. Kind of just starts the cooking process of softening up the pepper, because all we're really doing now is cooking the peppers. The meat and everything is cooked. So if you want to get the peppers started, soften them up just a tad, throw them in the microwave. You will not see me use the microwave often. I'm not anti-microwave. I don't mind microwaves. I like microwave popcorn a lot, but I don't use microwaves that often. But I do from time to time, especially when I deem it necessary. And if you want to shave off a few minutes, you can do so by throwing your peppers in the microwave ahead of time, letting them sit in there for a little while, then stuff them, cover them, put them in the oven. Otherwise, now we've got some time. We can put together a side dish and get ready to see what those things look like when they're done. So we have just about time to get these out. Oh, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn that timer off. Let's see. Oh, wow, what a wafting smell that is. I love the smell of cooked peppers. Oh, fantastic. Close that back up. Let's see how we're doing. Wow, look how beautiful those are coming out, huh? Oh, such fantastic colors. Now here's all I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to sprinkle some. Just a little bit on each one. It's really all you need. It's just for a little topper. Just a little topper. I can smell the Parmesan cheese from the breadcrumbs already getting hot and cooking on that. Oh, that's fantastic. We're going to put these back in the oven for just a couple more minutes. Uncovered now. Breadcrumbs go on, foil goes away. Give it 4, 5 more minutes at the most, and then we're done and ready to plate it up. Fantastic stuff. Yes, I love it. The time has come. A little over 4 minutes. Beautiful. Get them a nice little brown color on top. That's all we needed to finish this off. Oh, stick. Now, as I said, I wasn't kidding when I wanted this to be a nice light meal. I mean, that's a big pepper. There's a lot of stuff in there. But remember, there's not a lot of seasonings, not too much spice, no filler, it's just meat and veggies. So let's keep it light. So as far as the side dish is concerned, I made a little salad. Okay. So what I would do to plate this up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take one of these guys. Holy cow. Front of the plate. So not exactly in the center, kind of in the forward section of the plate. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a little salad just to give it something to go with it and keep it light. Oh, let it kind of build around the back. Done. And that's it. We're eating the whole thing anyway, so give ourselves a little salad with our pepper, and let's finish it off to give it that final pop. Some fresh parsley. Oh, you know I love parsley. Chopped up some fresh parsley earlier today, left it out to dry. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Ground turkey breast stuffed pepper with a nice salad, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as stuffing that pork loin last week. This is great stuff. It's nice and light. It screams summer. I hope you try this. Please do. Shoot me a comment in the bottom. Let me know how it goes. Ask me a question. I would love to discuss, but try this. I know you're going to love it, and I want to hear all about it. Please have a great week. Enjoy the rest of this weekend. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with everyone you know. You folks take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.